In the online environment, for me as a mom, it's the best situation possible. I think it's the reason why I've been able to have so much success so far with coming back to school after all these years. The negative parts of the online environment is the lack of interaction with other people. And there's kind of a two-side fold to that because I also don't like the forced interactions. So certain online classes, you're pretty much, it's a requirement to not only post your replies, but then you have to post replies to at least two classmates with at least 250 words. Well, for someone who's I love to talk, but I don't love forced interactions. And it becomes very difficult for me to provide feedback on something that I don't find interesting, or if we both already said pretty much the same exact thing, what additional feedback do I need to provide you? I think that has been one of the most difficult parts of the online classroom is not being able to interact with people and kind of fill out my room. I'm the type of person that I walk into the room and I like to get the party started in the classroom. I do get flexibility. I do get to go to class whenever I need to, whenever I want to. I do get to stay up at 1 o'clock in the morning and work on assignments while all the children are asleep. There's other small downside is that the lack of interaction from teachers. I had one instructor that I got a high from at the beginning and at the end. Other than that, there was no real communication from the instructor almost the entire semester. Wonderful job for them. A little off for someone who may need that interaction. Yes, they tell you to reach out, but it's like, well, if you don't have a reason to talk to me, I kind of feel uncomfortable having a reason to talk to you. So that's my experience.
On the downside, with a class I did not completely enjoy, was my major class. Because it was online. I don't do well virtual. So when it comes to asking questions, I am very shy and I get awkward when I'm put in a position of either like speaking first, asking questions that I should already know. That was one of my situations with a virtual class. And even when I did ask a question, I kind of felt in a position where he even told me that if I look over this, it would be there. Thing is, with me, I am not one who understands so quickly, and I need it broken down. And he didn't really take the time out of the day to break certain things down where I did not understand, which kind of made it like a downfall to having a virtual class, because even with all that happening, I did not pass the class like I wanted to or I hoped. But doesn't mean that like it's impossible. But that's something I would not be doing again, which is virtual. He didn't really take the time to do that. It was more of just read this, you'll understand. Then when I get to one part of reading it, I'm like, I don't understand. Like, this is where I'm asking help from. I'm currently taking that class again. One thing teachers love to do is two truths and a lie, so they feel more comfortable with each other. But he didn't do that. It was more of just he called out names. We said here, and he just continued the class. I do feel like he could have went around to everyone and asked for a name, what we're in school for, the two truths and a lie thing he could have done to make us all feel more comfortable with each other, even though it's online. But that was something he didn't really do.
I think the most struggling I did was the online course where the instructor really wasn't that helpful. Even when I reached out a few times with emails, it was very vague in the response. I said, I'm not sure how to write empirically. And they said it was an art form. And that was the only advice that I received. So I did my best and went from there, where there were some other online teachers that kind of would have broke it down. I had an English teacher that kind of broke down any question I asked so that I could kind of see in the email of exactly what I was doing wrong or why a sentence structure didn't make sense. And that was much more helpful than just kind of a vague answer, kind of like you're on your own here. So